We're testing test one.
Test
Test. We're testing test one.
Testing.
Test one.
Testing.
Test.
Testing,
Test one.
Test one, baby. And two. Don't forget two. What about three? And then four. And then you gotta do five. 5 for 5, baby. That's not a thing. I guess he'll go back to rehab. Probably should have seen that. Yo, it was a knee slap. Misery in that marriage trap. That brother got a brand clap, got a hand slap. That brother got a band slap, a hand clap. He got hand slapped. Fresh Prince from Bel Air. He got it. I guess we'll go to rehab though. You know, I mean, look at it this way. You know, that's how you get out of the thing you did. The privilege, wealth, privilege. You know, sure, we're not talking about white privilege, but we're talking about wealth privilege, and that's as big a privilege, bigger than white privilege. Wealth privilege. If you don't think going to rehab is a privilege, you go ahead and look into what rehab costs. Let's talk about what rehab costs. How many hundred thousands to get your career back? How many hundred thousands to get it all back? So that you can make more Marvel movies with that really cute chick, Margot Ritchie, in the little outfit. I'll tell you, the crazier she looks, the hotter she is. You got that right.
Tell you what, that's how it goes. And you know, we got to get Will Smith back in those movies, you know, major stars. So we need to get him rehabbed. For what? I don't know. And we should not make fun of addiction. Let's be honest. Serious problem in this country, in the world. Addiction. Pharmaceutical grade drugs, you know, all these things that are, it's just awful, right? So we're not going to make fun of addiction. I'm not going to make fun of addiction. But what is he going to rehab for? Addiction to what? Not being a dick? I don't, you know, like, what are we talking about? And of course he can afford it, you know, there's rich people. And wouldn't it be cheaper though, just to buy the wife hair plugs, you know, just get her the thing. They can do that stuff, laser removal, they take it from your butt, they put it up there. Maybe they can take it from his butt. Maybe he can be the hair donor, you know what I mean? Like, why not? You know, then then he'll be smooth for the Marvel movies anyway, you know they wax and slick up for that shit, right? That's how it looks good on camera. So that's what they'll do. I mean, why not do that? Or buy a bunch of wigs. Start collecting wigs. What's wrong with that? Buy the privileged white women's hair and slap that shit on, right? Just get it done, you know, instead of this rage, you know what I mean? Just get it figured out, you know what I mean? Yeah, crazy, man. The privilege of rehab. Unbelievable. No more Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Wild Will and his woman's hair. No more Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Will Smith and his woman's hair. Don't say that. Don't joke about that. You can't joke about that. I swear I wasn't laughing.
I saw the guy laughing.
I swear I wasn't laughing.
You were laughing.
Laughed. You weren't laughing.
We all know.
Nobody's laughing.
I was definitely laughing. I laughed.
Nobody's laughing. Nobody's laughing. Hand slap. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. You know, I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? What's he gonna do? Who cares? How much does that Benny Ford cost? We'll do that. You know, and that's the PR people, right? They have it all figured out. They know just how to get him out of the trouble he got himself in. That very night, he's on the phone with his publicist and his handlers, and they've got a plan. They said, we're going to wait a week, and then we'll announce you're going to rehab. Oh, man, I got to do rehab? Yeah, dude, because otherwise, how are we going to get you out of this? Your career's over, or you go to rehab. We'll lie. We'll say you're into pills or something. You know what I mean? We'll say it's pills. Everybody will believe that. Then you'll go to rehab, and everything's going to be fine, right? Everything's going to be fine. I mean, addiction is no joke, man. I've said that, and you know the deal. Addiction is no joke. I mean, hell, I just relapsed on my Cadbury mini egg addiction. You know, it's Easter, so they put those eggs out in the stores, and you can smell them through the bag. Like, I think they do that on purpose. They put them in, like, these non-sealed bags. You could smell that candy shell through the bag. You walk through in your brain, and the endorphins fire, you know, the neurons go, oh, wow, Cadbury mini eggs, and you can only get them one time of the year. Only one time of the year for those mini eggs. And, of course, I got to buy you. Of course, I'm going to go for the 5 for 5, you know, because what am I, stupid? I'm not going to buy them full. If they offer a discount, look, what am I going to pay full price for diabetes? No, I'm going to go with the discount. I'm going the 5 for 5, and I'm going to house them things. House them. I'm going to half a bag a night. Just boom, Cadbury mini eggs. That's my problem. I can't afford rehab, so I'm just going to get fat and die and get diabetes. That's fine, whatever. I've had a decent run, you know what I mean? I kind of got as far as I could. I did all right. I didn't do great, but I did all right, and I got as far as I could. I did all right. I didn't do great, but I did all right. I got as far as I could. I did all right. I got as far as I could. I didn't do great. I did all right. I got as far as I could. I did what I could. I got as far as I would. I would do better if I could do better to the letter. And you do what you can, you know what I mean? You follow advices when you get them. You try to do with what you can, but you reap what you sow. And that's how it is. You reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow. That's right.
My career wasn't that crazy, you know. I mean, I didn't get big. I didn't have any success really. I chose the hard road. I chose the high road, and there's nothing up there on that high road. All right? You take the middle road. You take the low road. There's nothing up there on that high road. Chris Rock will tell you, there's nothing up there on that high road. You know, you just got to go with it. Just nothing up there on that high road. Chris Rock will tell you, there's nothing up there on that high road. Chris Rock will tell you, there's nothing up there on that high road. You know, and it's just the way it is. Your career is what it is. Mine is what it is, you know. You reap what you sow, right? So that's going to be the thing, you know? I mean, I didn't put enough into it. I failed to accomplish some things early on, right? That's what happens. So you got to live with it, you know? I don't know if I've earned the privilege, let's say, you know, to be in this and have a really good career. Of course, I haven't raised a family or anything, so I didn't have to quit. I didn't have to give up, so I'm still doing it, right? Which is crazy, but, you know, it is what it is, you know? I mean, it wasn't, you know, my career wasn't big. It wasn't crazy. I wasn't famous. I didn't tour. I didn't make the mark, you know. I didn't have the bands of fans signing up to have you sign with your hands. It didn't happen to me. It's fine, right? It's okay. I love the music. I have fun playing it, right? You do too, you know. But my career didn't do it. It didn't, you know. I wasn't. You know, I didn't get laid. I didn't drive fast cars, you know. I didn't do coke in bathrooms of bars, you know. I never crashed an SUV. I never ran from cops on foot in that stolen SUV. I never left $1,000 tip, although that would be hip, right, to be able to do that. I never put out a vinyl to go along with the digital download tip. I never had an assistant named Chad or Skip. I never made it to Kansas Coachella. I never partied harder or was crazy hella. I only played it safe in safe places. I only made small waves in local cases. And that's what it is, you know what I mean? Small waves in local places. Small waves in local places. I made small waves in local places. And you do what you do, you know, and we'll all keep doing it. I mean, it's, you know, the other thing is it's like a big deal to get out of it, right? You know, you quitting? I don't know. I mean, what people's lives change, you know what I mean? What if you get out? Do you ever think about it? Just get out? No, I think about it all the time, to be honest with you. Getting out. I think about it all the time, to be honest with you. Getting out. I think about it all the time, to be honest with you. Getting out. I think about it all the time. Man. All the time. We can't all be the greeter at Walmart, I said the other day. But I think about it all the time. Getting out, to be honest with you. I ain't got clout. So why not get out while the getting's good? And not that the getting's good, but I think about it all the time, man. Getting out. Who doesn't? Don't you? Don't you? You don't think about it? I do. And my jeans are blue, baby, just like yours. I don't have a craft, I don't have a skill. I don't know how to give anybody a thrill. I don't, you know. It was what it was. I'm not going to be a carpenter. I'm not going to switch when you go to plumber school. I can't even lift one wrench, you know. Can you imagine me putting in water heaters and shit? No, I don't. It's not going to happen. I never had the skill for that. But I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time. Getting out, making that move. I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, fizzle out. What if I don't have as many students next year? Lord knows, less than half of the gigs came back. I mean, yeah, the gigs came back. Gigs came back for some people. You know, if you got a singer in your band, or if you play funk, with the singer in your band. You gotta play funk. It's gotta be, everything's funk. Even jazz is funk. Even the guys playing jazz, it's funk. You gotta be super famous to make it in jazz, or you damn well better play funk or rock and roll. Americana? Try Americana. It's kind of a combination of the two. Oh yeah, get into it. Get into it. But I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time. Getting out, quitting, going, doing something else. Doing what? Honestly, I'm going to be happier being miserable than I'm going to be miserable trying to be happy in some other way. So I got to stay with it. Ultimately, you know, I guess it's better to be unsuccessful and happy than it is to be successful and happy. I didn't realize they were so mutually exclusive. I guess I should have. You know, I should have seen it coming. And I did. I told the doctor, I said, man, I got several major crossroads coming to me in the next year or two. That's the way it is. So we're going to have to wait and see. Only time will tell what's going to happen with me, whether I'm going to pull it off. Am I going to make the big steps? Is it worth investing in the last third of my life, you know, or do you just let it ride out? That's kind of what I've been doing, letting it ride out. Maybe you just let it ride. Maybe you just let it ride out. I've been doing that a long time, letting it ride. Floating by the skin of my hide, kind of mixing metaphors. But that's what we do. No one knows anyway. The kids on TikTok and Reels, they don't know the true metaphor anyway. It doesn't matter what you say. It's either going to sound cool and they're going to go with it, or they're not. And it doesn't even matter at this point, you know, because, you know, I mean, what are we going to do? It's what it is, I would say. You know, try and get that going day to day, you know. But you can't, you know, obviously, what did the guy say? Be that creepy old guy trying to hang out with the young kids. So I guess you just have to accept where you are and keep it going and try and do the best you can. Make small investments in the forward direction of your thing, right? Small investments. The problem is my next steps are big investments. Because, yeah, that's what I wanted to do when I was 46, is go back into debt in a major way. And I'm not talking about, like, investing in a home and then having something to show for it. But I guess in order to get to that point, so what it is I'm going to have to spend $100,000 just to not have roommates anymore. And that's 10 years out, right? You got to spend the money first, and then they get the better teaching gigs. You got to spend the money first, and then get the better teaching gigs. Because, you know, Noah Preminger's already got that shit locked down, you know? Because they you know, all of it's just, I'm going to end up in Toledo, Ohio. I'm going to end up in Ohio teaching jazz at a small community college and living, you know, an hour outside of the city in some little shack. But it'd be better than having roommates in this shithole. It's actually a nice house, but that's the future, man. That's the future, man. You gotta have a plan. That's the future, man. You gotta have a plan. That's the future, man. I don't have a plan, but I might as well start working on it. Gotta have a plan. That's the future, man. Because that's how you do it. Some people. Me, I'm screwed. But that's alright, because you know what? We're all screwed in the end, ain't we? We're all screwed in the end, ain't we? Because we're all screwed in the end, ain't we? And we're all screwed in the end, ain't we? We're all screwed in the end, ain't we? What do you say? I mean, look, man, we're all screwed in the end, ain't we? We're all screwed in the end. Tell you what, we're all screwed in the end. We're all screwed in the end, brother. Ride it along with you, baby. We're all screwed in the end. Ride along. We're all screwed in the end. Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what the fellow said. And we're all screwed in the end. He knew it full well. And we're all finding it out now. Finding it out now. We're all finding it out now. Because we're all finding it out now.